Greetings, all you wild and weirdos, weirdettes out in Wild and Weird Radio Land. It's Ron, that's Joe. This is the Wild and Weird. What is it? What are we exactly? We're kind of a podcast. We're kind of a live kind of commentary show.
It's a podcast when it gets recorded and sent out to the masses over in podcast land.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is your weekly live radio show.
I think it's just Wild and Weird Radio Live, and let's just call it that. Anyway, let's get everybody welcomed into the show, no matter what you call it or what you want to call it. But let's get everybody welcomed in here, Joseph, and I shall start the goal.
Right on. Enzo, what's going on? Tony Breeden, Jordan Booker, L.R. Miller, good to see you, brother. Brenda Ratliff, we've got Eyes hanging out. Who else? Did you get that crazy out of nowhere thunderstorm today, Ron?
I heard it off in the distance.
Oh, man, it was brutal. It actually was like spiraling over our house. It just kind of...
Oh, yeah?
There were some trees that came down. Nothing other than the storm actually making a spiral, but yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Jen, what's going on? We've got Octopus. We've got who else?
There we go.
Arthur's in the house. Good to see you, Arthur.
Looks like Beth is
Jeremiah, what's going on? Jeremiah 81.
Jeremiah, welcome.
Mid-Ohio Valley, what's up? Stone Maven, Wolf's Den, Donna Ho. Ada Cox, Rob Posey, what's up? Terry McCullough, Beth.
Can't wait to get together and share data. Big love.
We love you too, Beth. Thank you.
And thanks for the data.
Yeah, right, absolutely. For those of you guys who are not familiar, Beth is the owner of the area out there that we call
Trash Panda Farms.
Yeah, Trash Panda Farms. That's right. Ada, thank you.
Multiple.
We got Foggy Flyer hanging out. Man, yesterday was a foggy morning. It was thick yesterday morning moving in.
Crazy, right?
So thank you guys. Thank you, Ada. Thank you, Beth. You guys are awesome. I want to throw y'all back up.
Yeah, throw them back up there. Let them ride it out while we discuss some things. So let's see. Let me get you guys up here. We can see yourself. There you go. That's just what it does when you do wide. I don't know why. You can do tall too. Look, that's kind of interesting.
No, not that one. Normally, it's even in wide format. It's not that far out.
That's wild, isn't it? Look, they gave us different stuff.
Normally, it stops like right there, center line. Normally on me, but it's not that large of a font.
It's called regular now. Check that out. Regular, tall, and wide. Huh. Well, looks like
I guess they're going back to the way like JCPenney used to style their men's clothing.
You know that might be what it is. That could be what it is.
Wide. Oh no, it's husky.
Husky, buddy. It was husky. That's what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
As a child, I was one. Believe it or not, it's true.
LW Marshall counting down to the Mothman Festival.
Multiple blessings.
Thank you, good sir.
Multiple blessings. Boy, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Well, what's funny is my youngest has the blue version of that alien.
Oh, yeah.
And he calls it Baby Zoot.
That's Baby Zoot right there.
He carries it around everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The festival's coming up. Been working on the new presentation, which should be very interesting to you guys. If you show up, it's going to be different. We have to basically summarize exactly what's going on in UFO land. I mean, I think we can probably handle that. We can probably do that, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to be able to do just fine with that topic.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
the more difficult part is going to be the overlaps and all of the concurrencies and things of that once we start getting about the half.
Yeah. You never know where it's going to go. But no, do be there. It's going to be fun. We are going to be presenting. We'll get some more info on that as it comes up, and maybe a new flyer or something over here for the group. But yeah, plan to be there because it's going to be fun regardless. We have some new stuff, right? We got some new stuff we're going to bring down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a rumor. A few new things.
There's a few new things. We've got some re-releases on a couple items.
Yeah.
And then there's a new sculpture that should get its bath in the silicone, I think tomorrow night.
Nice.
And production will start on it. And you guys, if you're a fan of gaming, you might like it a lot.
And we do have a new print that's going to be making its debut, so that'll be nice. So we got a lot of things really planned up here. But that's enough about what's happening in our world. What's happening in the real world is a little more complicated, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit. First of all, I want to thank everybody for, I don't know what happened last week, but that show went through the roof. If we could do that again, that'd be just amazing. I mean, I think it's somewhere close to 800, mid 800s now, as far as views go.
Yeah, it was one of those for us. It's the iron being hot, and we
nice.
So those were always good to see pop in there.
So was it weird that we didn't hear from Bigelow this week?
Oh, we did.
When?
It dropped about 3 hours ago.
Are you serious?
Yep. And it's got Bigelow, Brandon Fugel, and George.
What? For real?
And they talk about Joe McMoneagle and some stuff that they had Joe do for the ranch. Yeah.
See, they didn't want us to clip it. That's why they did it. No,
that's right. They knew. They knew. They're like, those guys.
Those guys, I swear. They know.
Those pet shop guys.
That's them. They know. They know. Bird people. Anyway,
but no, I listened to maybe 20 minutes of it because of everything that had going on this evening. We had an orientation for Ash's new school, and it went well. But I guess I got to listen about 20, just under half an hour. So I'm going to listen to the rest of it tomorrow. I'll send the link over to you, Ron.
Yes, send the link. It's part of the required work at this point. We'll see what we can see how it fits into everything, right? Because I'm pretty sure there's some stuff it'll probably fit into. Okay, so let's kick this thing off. Let's go over the is it presentation? I can't remember. Let me check. Let me check the notes here real quick. Oh yeah, it is. Our old buddy Jeff Nuccicelli is back in the news, and he along with the other 5 or 6 now have come forward and asked for basically immunity so they can come out and tell their story. So
not just a release of their NDA, but a release and immunity and amnesty of anything that that project could be tied to.
So it's interesting, but here's how he puts it.
Former United States Air Force Security Forces member and a career federal public servant. In 2025, I testified under oath before Congress about multiple unidentified aerial phenomenon I witnessed while serving at Vandenberg Air Force Base. I also spoke to Congress about retaliation and institutional obstructions that continue to discourage other knowledgeable personnel from coming forward. I personally know current and former government employees who possess critical information but remain silent because they fear losing their careers, security clearances, or facing serious legal consequences. Mr. President, I respectfully ask you establish and enforce meaningful protections against retribution for whistleblowers who wish to share what they know with the American people.
Oh boy, it's getting deep, brother.
Yeah.
It's getting deep, right? I mean, ain't that what we're seeing? There's that's like almost verbatim what we've heard these other guys say.
Nancy, thank you.
Multiple blessings, Nancy. Thank you, guys. I see several of you out there.
Jeff Nuccicelli is a good man, excellent speaker, comes from a coal mining family in PA. That he does. He
is a very well-spoken and very down-to-earth is what he is. And, he made another very good, I guess, appearance on a podcast this week. And he gave a warning. And I liked his warning because it sounds a lot like what we have said before about some things. Take us back to presentation mode. We'll kick this off. Everybody who's here, please do join in the conversation. If you've not been here before, this is how this show works. You are part of the conversation. You are part of disclosure. You are disclosure. all of us. And you have every right to talk and, put your viewpoints out here as well. And we're going to get into a very controversial topic tonight. But before we get into that, let's look at a little bit about, what Jeff had said. And pay attention to what he says here, Joe. You're going to want to weigh in this. Trust me.
I'm encouraged that these very famous public figures are engaging the topic. I feel like it's some form of enculturation that the government is leading that effort. They've called these people in behind closed doors and given them, access to some of this information, and then they're sent out into the media to spread the word. But I'm also becoming more and more leery of what I'm calling celebrity disclosure. But there's some danger in that, right? Because these celebrities have incredible influence, right? And if they're getting inaccurate information from the government, because the government has not been a good faith actor.
What? The government hid something or kept something a secret?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, full stop. We're being misinformed by our government actively, right? So that's my primary concern, is like, what is the real truth that the government knows that we do not? And, what truth are they putting in the heads of these celebrities that is later shared through mass media to the public? And it's not just the U.S. public. What happens in the U.S. spreads like wildfire all over the world, right? So we need to be cautious about celebrity disclosure.
No, he's not wrong. Is he wrong, Joe?
Oh, 100%, and we've kind of shared those same sentiments here on the show, because it's one for folks like us, it's kind of frustrating anyway, because we know people personally at this point who are far better suited, and I'm not talking about us. They're far better suited to be the well-known celebrity or the speaking head for things of this nature.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even being given a nod.
They're not there. And this plays into really what this show is going to be about. We've been talking about it for a few shows, actually, this whole past year. If you're new to the show, go back and watch some of the previous lives that we've done and look for I think there's what was it? I can't remember the name of the show now. I have to go back and look for it. But you'll see it when you do. It's all about control and who's controlling the narrative of this. And it's still happening. It's still happening to this very second. It's still happening, and I've got proof that it's still happening. But I want you to see something. I found an old, thanks to Andrew. I think it was Andrew who posted a clip of Stanton Friedman. I don't know if you saw that or not. But there was some really good points that Stanton made. And one of the points that Stanton made just rang so true with everything. Take his presentation mode. I want to play that one clip from Stanton. And this will be a flashback for some folks. But listen to what he says, Joe.
I found that fear of ridicule is one of the major human motivations. You want to avoid it. And so people are very pleased to get the chance to tell me about their experiences. They know I'm not going to laugh, and that pleases them. We all need to tell somebody, to justify ourselves maybe, whatever it is, but validate ourselves. People enjoy when I'm on television and take on the noisy negativists, the debunkers, because not many people are willing to do it. So I feel an obligation to do that and to speak out. I'm not saying everything in ufology is great, because it isn't. But I think we need to give credit where it's due and to encourage, especially younger people, to get involved. I'm an old man now, and I don't know how long I'll be here. We need other people to pick up the cudgel, so to speak, to hit the debunkers over the head and to go to the media. And I will expose the people on the pro side when they say things that are stupid or wrong. And I don't stick up for everything that says these things are real, There's a lot of guys saying things that simply aren't true.
There it was. There's a lot of guys who are saying things simply aren't true.
Now, was that a piece that was aired in January of 2020?
That was from a, I have the actual clip for you. It's from a little documentary that they did. It was whatever that series was. And yeah, that was in January of 2020.
Okay, because he passed away a year, like a little
They aired
more
that
than
in
a year
2020.
prior to that.
Yeah. Well,
So it would have been, yeah, it'd have been, gosh, he looked to be in better shape there than he was when we talked to him.
Isn't that wild?
So he'd have had to been interviewed for that, what, probably
17.
17?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, just based on his look, he did look better there, though, didn't he?
Oh, a lot better.
Yeah. But either way, that's, that warning is true. And, he knew it. And I think that people have forgotten it, Joe. I think that people have forgotten it. And there was something I sent you today. Uh-oh, look here, Gary Foote. Pop him up there. Got a super sticker there. Whoop. What in the world? I don't know where Joe went. Anyway, I'm here. Apparently Joe got called away. So let's, what I'm going to show you is this. I'm going to take us to presentation mode, actually, myself. And I'm going to show you how this is still happening today. Okay. Let's go to presentation. There we go. Let me pop him back off for just a second. There we go. He can add himself when he gets done. I'm sure it's a kid emergency. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but today, this just makes the news, and it's already kicked up on a couple of things. I think it came out like 2 days ago, but either way, Americans still skeptical that UFOs are aliens. 49% attribute UFOs to human activity or natural phenomena. 37% say at least some are alien spacecraft, whatever that is. And this is a new Gallup poll, actually. That's what this is. This is part of a new Gallup poll, which basically says that, half the Americans now think that UFOs can be explained away by human activity on Earth or other natural phenomena. I think it's important we dissect that first line. Of course, 49% could be, thinking that UFO sightings can be explained away. We can explain anything away. It doesn't mean that we're right. It just means we're explaining things away. And to deny that we can't explain them away, that's really not critical thinking. But the problem here is that before this poll, it kind of seemed that everybody was kind of getting on board with this, right? Because we hear like every week there's something new being disclosed. There's someone talking about 4 alien races. There's someone talking about, underground bases or undersea bases, etc. And it's just convenient that we see a poll like this show up, in my opinion, anyway, that basically says what it says. Now, it's important to also understand that this could be an example of what we're talking about. Well, if we print it and we put it out there for you and it gets spread around, everyone's going to believe it. I mean, everyone doesn't have to believe it. Only a few percent, right, have to believe it. That's all you got to do. You only got to get a few people to believe it. And once you do that, I mean, you pretty much won the game. So the question is that an accurate poll, or is that just more disinformation in disguise? If I tell you you're a potato long enough, you might believe you're a potato. I don't know why I would. I don't like potatoes. So I wouldn't call you a potato, guys. So anyway, let's get some thoughts on this real quick before we get Joe back in here and jump into the next run. So my question is to the rest of you guys is, well, what do you think? What are you thinking about this latest poll? Here's another image of it, by the way. Let me see. I can find that for you. Back to presentation here real quick, and I'll pop it right up here. Stay right there. There you go. There's how the breakdown goes for the whole thing, the latest findings. It was from July 1st through the 19th, by the way. So it's a very recent poll. And up until this point, we really hadn't had one for a very long time, just to kind of remember that. But you can see how it breaks down. So there's a lot of data here. But the question is the data legit? Would we even know if it wasn't legit? I think that's one of our biggest problems. All right, I'm just going to pop these up. I hope Gallup polls are better than the polls on Family Feud, but I kind of doubt it. No, you're kind of right. I mean, you're probably kind of right about that, honestly. Jen, fuzzy radar and pics don't call for a lot of foreshore feelings for most. No, they don't. They really don't.
All right, I'm back. A little bit of pandemonium upstairs, but
kind of figured.
Everything's squared away now.
We're talking about the Gallup poll here right now, and how polls in general can be used not to reflect accurately what the public's consensus is, but to tell the public what the consensus is. And are we looking at that kind of thing right now? Or is this an accurate poll?
Oh, yeah. And so Jordan brings up a good point. I don't trust polls. What was the sample size?
Right.
Statistics are manipulated to answer any question. And you can also manipulate your answers based on what city and what part of the country you go to.
Yeah.
For example, if you go ask the general public in Phoenix, Arizona, how okay they are with UFOs and the fact that they could be real, you're going to have a very large consensus of, yeah, they're probably real. Phoenix Lights proved it to them.
Yeah.
Larry, thanks, brother.
Thanks, Larry. Blessings.
Appreciate you. And congratulations. So we have to look at where was the poll taken?
Yeah.
What was not just the poll size, but what was the demographic? And again, like where? That's really important.
That's a very good example right here, Joe.
Are they polls by phone? I don't answer the phone.
Same.
Yeah. I think it was Gary Nolan that said there's two kinds of people on the subject: those who have never researched it and those that know it's not true, or those who have researched it and know that it's not true, and those that have researched it and know that it is.
Well, take us to presentation, because I have another one for us. Let me find it. Where's it at? Oh, actually, it's not. Yeah, okay. It's not a video. It's going to be an image. No, put it back up there. You're good. Because this started making the rounds earlier this week. Remember, Joe? Remember this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
We talked about it a little bit last week. You know, you've got people within the executive branch's inner circle.
The inner circle, right? Whatever that is.
Yep.
But here's the thing. TV host Jack Osborne claimed on Sunday that an unnamed friend told him that Trump said extraterrestrials were hiding.
Tom DeLonge.
Very, very possible.
That's because I can't see too many other people that he would be friends with, like from a realistic standpoint, just because his life, like where how he grew up on the road with shows and going and doing on tours. So
right. So basically, what they're getting at is saying that, you know, that this information was leaked. There's somebody behind the scenes that's having this conversation, and Is it him? I don't know. It could be. It could very well be. But he goes on to say, let me just fast forward here for you, okay?
The problem is we have somebody who has said he confided in me.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and tell it straight to the media.
I don't understand that.
Like, that's not someone you want to confide in.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I can't.
Skinner.
Thank you, Skinner.
Thank you.
But go ahead and read this, because he weighs in on his expertise in other subjects as well.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, because, just because he was on a paranormal TV show, he's, an expert in some of this stuff. Yeah.
No, that's how it works, I think.
So, examining abduction claims, Osborne also opened up about his feelings regarding individuals who claim to have experienced alien abductions. He once tried to produce a support group television show where people shared their experiences. Many individuals recounted memories of a room filled with bright light and claimed they were suddenly hovered out a nearby window, while others defied basic human logic.
They defied basic human logic. Anyone who studies the phenomena understands what that means, but continue, please, because,
Osborne also discussed that an alleged foreign object examined during a documentary titled Patient 17, although there is no established evidence that it was of extraterrestrial origin. He described the extracted object in basic medical terms, stating it looked large, like a large kidney stone. According to Osborne, there were many various types of alien visitors that he theorized. Some are friendly and some are hostile. He also offered psychological theory regarding typical abduction memories, suggesting that deep emotional trauma plays a role and might trigger vivid hallucinations in certain people. Noting that many individuals vividly recall large creatures with giant heads staring downward and describe waking up in a white, sterile room. Osborne suspects they might actually be remembering their own human births. He believes such psychological echoes goes away. Waking up in a white, sterile room, Osborne suspects they might actually be remembering their own human births. He believes such psychological echoes might explain the medical nature of these accounts.
He believes this. He does he? Well, let me tell you a little something about this. Okay, so first of all, there's nothing wrong about being skeptical. We know that. We need skeptics, right? We that's why we have peer reviews. That's why we do what we do. We try not to keep our stuff biased. We try to stay out of that biased lane. The problem is when people speak with these absolute truths, or they're in a position to where they really should remember what they're talking about. His view on the phenomena, it's not new. So, the facts have been around for years. This is something that's true. I've actually got a little bit about that here, and I'm just going to read it to you, okay? The birth trauma hypothesis for alien abduction was first introduced and published between 1977 and 1980 by Alvin H. Lawson, English professor, California State University, Long Beach, alongside clinical physician Dr. William McCauley. Key timeline publication, 1977. The Imaginary Abductees Study, that's what it was called. Lawson and McCall conducted an experiment where hypnotized subjects who had never seen a UFO were asked to imagine an alien abduction. Basically, it's kind of like that. Remember that Philip experiment where they kind of created the ghost,
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. They had these guys basically imagine it, and they all kind of started explaining it in ways that were pretty much consistent somehow. To them, that just meant that it was imaginary, hallucinatory. They didn't ask the question of how in the world they're all seeing the same things in their vivid imagination. Because, the only ones who did that are the people who turned around and said, well, this could simply be that they're remembering their own births. Problem. There's a problem with that hypothesis. And that is that some of these folks, Joe, were not born naturally. They were the products of cesarean section. So how could they possibly remember, this whole thing? It doesn't work that way.
So what year did this come about?
The original?
Yeah, the original concept of this idea.
Oh, the original study was let me find it for you. I think it was 77 is when it was published. Yeah.
So it would have been previous then to 3 Men and a Baby. Because that movie starts out with like a birthing process.
77 and 80. And
because 87 was when 3 Men and a Baby came out.
Okay. Yeah, this was
that's the only thing like I could draw, like that maybe a large collection of people went and saw the blockbuster when it was in theaters, and they were that opening sequence.
I remember the scene. Yeah. I think that this is just an easy excuse, kind of like sleep paralysis. It works. Sure, you can use that. But when you have multiple people who are experiencing the same thing, describing the same things, we have to look for deeper things that may not be, they may not fit into our normal box, so to speak, right? Like they may be outside of the normal gathering of information, so to speak. You know, you're not saying they're aliens, but you can say that there's definitely some kind of outside influence that's taking place there.
Yeah. Stone says Jack's fun to watch, but not to take seriously for news research.
Yeah, I think that's a wise choice. But yeah, anyway, the whole thing about this warning, you know, from Nuzzatelli, the celebrity, you know, thing, he's not wrong.
No, not at all.
He's not wrong. And we've said that with, you know, Dr. Phil showing up out of the blue. Well, you know, I was shown these files and, you know, well, why were you shown files, Dr. Phil? How? Why is that? Do they think that it's not going to blow your mind? Because we've been told it's going to blow our minds, right, Joe? It's going to blow our minds.
Yeah. And like this came no more than maybe 5 or 6 weeks after we made the jokes about, you know, there being it was during the alien DNA run.
Oh yeah.
And me and Dave made a reference to to them doing like reality TV shows with Dr. Phil and Maury Povich.
Yeah,
I
remember that, yeah.
And whatnot. And we made it, and then it was 6-7 weeks later, all of a sudden, Dr. Phil is actually somehow the face of American.
It's there. It doesn't matter. It's there.
Celebrity disclosure.
But you know, that was always part of the plan, allegedly, from some of these folks. You know, Dr. Phil is the worst addition to this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he fills a spot, and I think that that's what they're looking for. They're looking for for people like that to fill those spots, those influencers, the big podcasters, you know, things like that. That's what you're going to be looking for. So you got to be careful what they're putting out. You got to be really careful what's been putting out, and it's called disinformation for a reason, right, Joe?
Oh, 100%.
So, you know, speaking of disinformation, one of the biggest disinformation specialists made their another debut this week, back in the mainstream of podcasts.
Yeah, outside of Gaia.
Right, outside of Gaia.
Let's be fair. This guy's been on Gaia. Somehow for a long time.
He tells interesting stories, Joe.
Yeah, true.
You know, and according to him, you know, some of them are true and some of them are half truths and some of them are just what we always call them, those lie sandwiches. But yeah, we got some we got some clips from the chef himself, and
Oz, I can't. I would rather see Dr. Ruth talk UAP, especially since she has passed. See, I could see her not talking about UAP and more or less talking about the species and interspecies relations.
Yeah.
Than anything.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I wonder who's going to fill that gap.
No, Brenda brought up Brenda, Dan Aykroyd was actually one of our people that we would have preferred to have been on this celebrity talking point to go forward with this, because he literally his entire life, aside from comedy has been dedicated to high strangeness and paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, but again, it's demographics. They're going after certain demographics. We just have to be careful with the information that those certain demographics are pushing. So let's go over to the presentation mode, sir. And let's start this, because we're going to be talking about Mr. Doty again.
Oh boy.
He shows. I know. Y'all just have fun with this. You know what? Before we go to Doty, let's look at something, okay? Because more evidence. I want to just put more evidence on the table before we go straight to the disinformation specialist. How about we look at another one of these old clips? This is from 1966. This is actually Major Kehoe talking about the reality of how some of these files were, well, they were kind of agreed upon, Joe, and then they were marked secret. And now we know that because we have those actual files. We have copies of them on our computers now. They've been released. But check this out.
CAP's director, Major Donald E. Kehoe, a retired Marine Corps officer, insisted that the Air Force knew more than it was telling.
We are being observed by some type.
I want you to pay attention to what that man just said. And this was in 1966. We are being observed. That was literally just quoted last week on one of these shows. Was it not?
Yeah, it was.
The exact same quote.
Of device, which is ahead of us, far ahead of us, and is probably controlled by a highly advanced superior civilization. Now, this is a conclusion which I personally have stated and is shared by some members of our Board of Governors and advisors, not all of them. But it has reached to the point where many people in the Air Force have the same conclusion. In fact, the Air Force at one time had a top secret estimate that these things were interplanetary spaceships. So you will see that this, instead of being a subject for ridicule and a big joke, actually is a serious matter which could affect the lives of all of us.
Now, that was 1966. Does any of that sound familiar to you?
Oh, good grief.
Could that not have just came out like last week?
100%. I'm
telling you, man. So here's what he was getting at, though. The whole ridicule thing. Check this one out. This is Frank Manor, by the way. This is one of the witnesses to actually the first witness to the Michigan UFO 1966
But if the Air Force had nothing to hide, Frank Manor, the Michigan farmer who had brought in the first report, was caught in the middle. He was mad.
Well, you can look at here. Look, beer bottles thrown. Look at my windshield. What would you think if somebody was throwing beer bottles at your house, standing out in the middle of the road screaming, you nut, you're fanatic, and all that? What would you think?
Are you sorry now that you did tell people what you saw?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, because not that it's not the truth, but it's just the idea, the reaction of the people. They think you're a nut. To tell you the truth, that's just what they figure you are. And I'm not going to take it no more. I don't want nobody down in here. I just leave me alone. And if the thing lands right there by that pump, I'd never say a word. And he got out and talked to me, I wouldn't tell nobody. That's just the way I feel. I'm bitter and disgusted in the whole matter.
And at this point in time, that was the general consensus.
Yes, sir.
That was where people sat. And, you have the May family who felt the same way. Not long after the Flatwoods event.
Right.
That they would have just assumed, never told anybody and kept it a secret and never been out there in the wind in the first place.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'll put a poll up there for you guys. Since we're going to be talking about Richard Doty, wanted to get your all opinion. Do you think Richard Doty is still spinning disinformation for the federal government? Yes. Answer 1 for yes, he is still on the payroll. Answer 2 for no, he thinks this helps disclosure.
Well, this is going to be a good one. Well, take us to presentation while this is going, and we're going to start the first Doty clips. And everybody, please, like I said, weigh in. We want to hear from you on this matter.
Is there one overarching thing that neatly packages everything, a la, Passport to Magonia, Jacques Vallée, control system, or are we dealing with like 1,000 separate things?
Separate things.
You think so?
I think the one thing that convinced me beyond anything else that I had access to was listening to this Air Force sergeant, female who was abducted countless times, went through literally torture by these extraterrestrials. And then a lot of things that we did in a surveillance capacity to confirm what she says, that convinced me that they weren't humans doing this to her. They were extraterrestrials. Now, were the extraterrestrials interdimensional? I don't know. There's an argument that can be made, but there were non-humans doing this to her, and I wish I could tell you how we know, but believe me, the government knows that these were extraterrestrials that were doing this to her.
So this one clip there is right there is proof. There are lies in here and there are truths in here.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part, because we don't know what's what.
And regarding this interview, I want to give Chris like huge props for this.
4 hours that man did this.
And he kept him on track.
He really did.
Wander. He did it was probably one of the best like actual interviews he's ever conducted. The rest of his stuff is more conversational. This was like this is a real interview, and I think that he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did a really good job on that. You guys I'm going to put the link over there for you. Please go watch that at probably over the weekend or something. Be a good time, because it's a 4-hour interview. I mean, when Joe told me about it, I'm like, oh, it's Doty. I don't want to watch this. It's 4 hours. And it's like, Chris does a really good job. I'm like, okay. So I did. And man, I'm glad I did, because there's some really good stuff in there, right, Joe?
There really is some good stuff. And then there's some of him just singing the same old song.
It really is. Yeah. But in that particular case, what he's talking about right there, you can see that how he did it. There's a little bit of truth right there. The multiple species thing. He's right. I think we are dealing with that. Yeah. He doesn't know if they're really, alien. Well, extra dimensional aliens, call them what you want. Okay. Got that. And then it just goes into some really wacky stuff as we get down into it, and you don't know what's true and you don't know what is, it's well played. I mean,
and that to me, everybody's pretty well unanimously answered one on this point. Enzo says, although I don't think he's on a government payroll, he's just sticking to his guns on the things he said in the past.
Maybe.
He did a little bit of a flip-flop on a couple of things, especially over the years, but in this interview. If he did read that in a report, why would he think it was okay to talk about it today? You can't talk around NDAs. The report, he didn't read in the report with the woman. Mm-hmm. He actually was her point.
Oh, he talks about that. Yeah, we got a few clips about that. And apparently if she comes out, it's going to really open things up.
And she's already spoke with Congress.
Right. And
so she's part of this whole whistleblower stuff. She just hasn't gone public.
I think she may be the impetus for that one alleged briefing that talked about the hybrids.
Could be.
I mean, it very well could be. And we're going to be paying attention, because I think we'll be revisiting this in the future. And that's why it's important to show this, regardless if it is Doty or not. He just gives off evil vibes, very evil vibes.
And then Octo, he does give off super icky vibes. Agreed. Jen, yeah, you're right. In the interview, he does state that several of his NDAs have expired. There are some that he still couldn't talk about.
But it's important that we really get to. I think that we go to this next clip. Next clip. I'm just going to play that because it's the highlight of what this whole thing's about, and it's what we've always said.
The Colonel Law, he was chief of counterintelligence for OSI. He showed up towards the end of this UFO convention, and I actually went to the airport and got him and brought him there. And anyways, we were sitting talking, and the subject came up of Ryan Woods, doctor, as a father. And he said, wow, I never thought that stuff would end up where it ended up. And I said, Colonel, I said, that stuff real? He said, Richard, how many counter-espionage operations did you run? I said, well, quite a few. You realize you have to give them the real stuff, some of the real stuff. And that's all he said to me.
And there it is. And that sets up everything you need to remind yourself as you're listening to some of these clips. Some of these sound absolutely right on. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they just start, but there's more, it's kind of like that happens. Let's go back in there, Joe. Well, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Video. Okay. So let's go to let's see. Oh yeah, this is the one where you're talking about. He's talking about the female abductee, right? And how they actually surveyed this. They watched this. Yeah. Like this was, all a Skinwalker Ranch kind of stuff. They were setting up equipment. They were monitoring this whole thing. Yeah. And some of the stuff they say, I don't know. I mean, use your own imagination.
We actually did. We knew, based on a lot of things that I can't talk about, methods and sources I can't ever talk about, but we knew when they were going to do this to her. She lived in an apartment complex outside Kirtland Air Force Base. She was stationed at Kirtland. And we knew that she would be taken during a time period. And we set up a surveillance. And that's a fact. And she's a whistleblower. And she would be the number one person I would put in front of a camera if I was a member of Congress. She is a legitimate whistleblower. She retired from the military, but she has been interviewed by many of the U.S. representatives and at least 2 senators and some of their staff. So she's legitimate.
So without going into a whole lot of that, because again, go watch it. It's really cool. The whole interview. She's been taken by these beings, right? They're not happy. They're not the fun beings. He talks about them. They're I guess the mantids. They're the insectoids or whatever. And they're observing this. What he's saying there, Joe, is that according to what that man just said, there is evidence. There is video evidence of this interaction that took place somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. There's at least audio recordings.
There's audio recordings because he mentions the audio recordings.
He heard that. He didn't see the video, but he did hear the audio.
So it's Godot. Disinformation is different to misinformation, but both contain real information.
Mm-hmm.
Says, and what's real and what's not. We can see this partial truth game playing out in any newscast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. And I think the parts to take away from it are that this could be a preemptive strike, so to speak. I don't know. I mean, if all of a sudden, we're talking about things like alien abductions, in the general public, and it does seem we are going to go there.
Some of these shows are being watched by more than just the UAP UFO crowd, right?
Yeah.
They're watching a lot of these interviews from these guys, and it's new information. Some of these people are new to them. Doty is one of these names that is now starting to make circles again, right? Because he's one of those names, man. I mean, Doty is just another tool of the state, bragged about destroying another man's life. It will never have my trust. And that's where I stand too.
I mean, I want to know how you can really, how you can expect people to trust you after you've done what he did.
Yeah.
Regardless of why he did it. I mean, he says, in the interview, I did it because, I was doing my job, et cetera, et cetera. But I get that. But man, how could you, I don't know. I don't know how you could think someone could take you seriously. I would just rode off into the sunset and be done with it. I surely wouldn't have came back out. If you loved, if you loved my lies last time, hold my beer. Yep, that's
right. I mean, it's really,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We are seeing this stuff play out again. That's the problem. But the problem is, guys, it's to a new generation, and that generation tends to believe whatever it sees on its little devices, or in those fake AI generated memes, for example. That man, he's working for the reptiles.
It's one of those things where like you, my BS meter was blowing up, but it's still I would honestly put this interview in the essential viewing bin.
Oh yeah,
just because. You have to.
You have to. If you're going to look at all the data, you have to do it.
Yep.
Because there are truths in there. There are actual truths in there. You just have to sift through them to find them. What he's talking about with this whole, abduction thing, man, I'm going to tell you, some of that stuff checks. So someone informed him very well. If he wasn't there, then someone informed him very well. Take us through.
Here is Doty molting. That's the case. That means that he is an avian.
Avian, yeah. Good presentation mode.
Hold on. We got Project Blue Book was successful because it took place in an era where these conversations were had around the kitchen table with a family and their children. The problem with internet culture is that little kids can just click on it and watch this crap.
Yeah, so it's the truth.
It is.
It's the truth. But they don't even have to be little kids, guys. That's the point. That's the problem.
It's anybody that's ready to consume the
content. Exactly. So here's what he talks about basically what may be out there. And again, truths, half truths, some other stuff.
Yeah. The problem is what happens when she tells her story. Stephen Greer is a friend, a nice person. I've worked with him before, but his mentality regarding they can't be hostile, they're all benevolent, is absolutely out the window. And I've told him this to his face.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
This is true. He's telling the truth right now, in my opinion.
I said, Stephen, you're relying on faulty information. You're being misinformed. And I'm telling you listen to me, because I'm a counterintelligence officer. People within your circle are misinforming you because there are hostile extraterrestrials out there. And that's the ones we have to worry about.
And you've seen this firsthand.
I saw this firsthand.
Now, I don't know if he's seen it firsthand, but I do know this. He's not wrong. And I do think that's one of our issues.
I would guarantee that he probably did see it firsthand.
Because
he's gone to these meetings. He's gone to these big UAP conferences.
Yeah.
And I would bet that he has seen people that he knows go up to people that, you know, are big names.
Yeah.
And have a propensity for eating and swallowing every bit of information that's given to them.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Greer.
Right. Right. I mean, that's the problem when you do that. You put yourself out there and all of a sudden, you know, you become a target for people like this. Well, here, just between you and me, I want to show you this, you know, and then all of a sudden you got a Paul Benowitz kind of case going on, right?
Yeah.
You've been fed disinformation. Your credibility gets destroyed. And, you know, that's par for the course. This is what they did. They infiltrated these groups back in the day. He talks about it. We know that happened. 100% it happened. Is it still happening? It's easier to do today. That's all I'm going to say. It's a whole lot easier to do today. All right, let's go to number 4 here. Oh yeah, this is where he talks about the insectoids. You know, the beings. I'm not 100% on this one, guys, but you know, whatever.
She wasn't abducted that night.
You thwarted it.
Yeah. We prevented it based on all this stuff. And we got her out and we got her to a safe location. But regardless, I mean, that much scares me. But after that, seeing what I saw or listening to her tell her stories, you know, I'm thinking, wow, I sure hope that doesn't happen to my girlfriend, or that then I wasn't married, or my mother or my sister. I mean, why are they picking on her? And, you know, all these that you worried about yourself. And why they pick her? That's the question that I don't know the answer to. I'm sure maybe the government does.
Are they on here?
Yeah, they're there.
Which ones are they?
The hepaloids. I'm sorry. Let me show you. The insect ones, quadriloids.
The ones that look like insects?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the insectoids. That's right. I'm not going to say that that's 100% disinformation, but I find it interesting that he talks about how they thwarted this thing. All right. They stopped an apparent abduction. Joe, based upon what we know about the phenomena, and I'll just say the phenomena based upon the particular one that we have seen the most interaction with, because we haven't seen that interaction. I know that's there. I'm pretty sure
we have seen that interaction. It just wasn't
us.
It wasn't us. It was another individual that came.
That's right. And that sure does seem like exactly what he was describing.
Yeah, because he did describe, without getting too graphic, he described a very, very similar violent details that he described in that case there.
Yeah.
Down to the removal of the fingernails.
Right. You had all these things happening, right? But I don't know. I'm not sure about the whole thwarting the thing. You know, that's the part that gets me, I guess. It's just like, what are you guys running? But Chris did ask him several times about that too. Yeah. Let's see, go to presentation mode there and look for any questions. You guys got questions?
She wasn't abducted that.
Uh-oh.
You thwarted it.
Yeah.
Let's take that out. Go ahead and get your questions up there. Again, any of your comments. Let's see. You can't say.
It says, will the infiltrator here raise their hand? Keep your eyes open, weirdos. 100%.
I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Watch this. This is probably one of the more interesting things during the whole interview.
Wow.
Does that look like something you've seen before?
I can't say.
I think you just did. Was that
in pictures, in a document, not in.
I can't say, but in pictures in a document. But I can't say.
Real life.
Is that the same thing that was involved here, or is that different?
I better not say.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Is that going to be on your area?
That hasn't been made public.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to make it public?
Not anytime soon.
Okay. No, I better not say that.
Yeah. So if I didn't make it public, you could confirm or deny?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe one day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So Godot says, I always felt this host was set on this path by an insider foot in the UFO media door. And that would be correct. I did some digging on this a while back when he first started popping up. And he popped up because he's a professional magician. He's a master magician. Dude's phenomenal. I used to actually watch his how-to magician stuff forever ago. I've known about this guy for a long time. He was a professional YouTube guy for ages, and I discovered him during the pandemic era when I was watching videos with my kid, you know. And he was fun because he would do all this interactive stuff and then show you how he did it. And Rowan just loved that stuff. So then all of a sudden he gets in, and the first UAP hearing, you see George, Jeremy, and a tattooed guy that keeps making hand signals at the camera. Whenever he knows the camera is facing his hands, he does all these little intricate hand signals, talking to someone out there, giving them hand signals. Okay. That was Chris. He was right there. If you go back to the flow chart that I created for everybody or the family tree, it's not hard to figure out which insider held the foot in the door to get Chris out there.
Oh yeah. All right, back to presentation.
He comes across someone who would have documented the abduction, not prevented it.
Well, I don't think he actively did it himself.
Arthur, yeah, right. Arthur says, I'm just going to kind of go against the grain here and say that it could have been a form of brainwashing her, that she was being abducted by aliens to say, oh, hello, we are the government and we're here to save you from an abduction.
I mean,
it's
could
possible.
be. Who knows?
Doty's lips are moving.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100% what you just said. I mean, we don't know. This is going to be a long game. All right, presentation.
Okay.
I'm going a little bit out of order. I want to speed up on these. Let's see that one. Here's one where he talks a little bit about the whole trying to stop the abductions and whatnot, and how she was praying during the whole thing.
Never once heard of an abduction being thwarted. I think that's a new one for me. You know, we hear about abductions. We hear about people trying to film them unsuccessfully. Something always goes wrong. Murphy's Law, some type of, you know, whether that's people at Skinwalker Ranch filming stuff and things going haywire, and but never had it occurred to me that, you know, other than the instances of people saying, you know, sort of the Lord's name or something, like you hear about stories like that, and that sort of fends them off. Is that is there any merit to that?
Well, there was part of that. She was religious, and she wore a St. Christopher's cross, but that didn't stop anything.
That's because
it
doesn't. And the people who are telling, here's another thing that's going on out there. You'll see it quoted every week on one of these sites. Oh, just saying that. No, it doesn't.
Because Joe Brown did a survey, you know,
a biased one, Joe.
It was a biased survey because he's a minister.
Yeah.
And he was doing a survey on abductees in the church.
I'm going to just.
And she was one.
I'm going to stop that. Go ahead.
He was doing a survey on abductees who were also members of the church, and they were making claims. And of that, only like 10% of the people who were in the church being abducted actually said that actually worked. Yeah. So that's still a very, even if you're talking about if you make this a pie chart, you're taking out a very, very small slice of the pie.
Oh, the very, very small slice of the pie.
Slice of the pie, you're taking a 10% slice out of it. And that is your functional, what you're making that working number off of. And everybody runs with it. You hear it quoted and you hear it thrown out there right now about all the religitards that are just going and spewing nonsense.
I think that you're also not looking at it objectively. We don't know what, I mean, we've already said this. Sometimes they seem to play off of emotion. Sometimes they they don't understand how that works. If you're going into this with fear, maybe they're just like, here's a mirror, here, your fear. So, okay, oh, you want to see us as this? Okay, that's what it'll be. Oh, you want that to work? Okay, then so be it. There are those, I believe, that can do that. I'm not discrediting, by the way, any religious powers or anything like that. I'm just saying that when it comes to that matter, we don't understand how it works with them because we barely understand how it works with us. So we can't hopefully, even try to fathom how that would relate. And, by the way, there are some of these cases where these things are very aware of humanity's religious practices, and they also apparently have their own version. So do with that as you will. But yeah, well, you're right, Joe. There's a lot of bias stuff on that right now.
Yeah, there is, and they're using such a very, very skewed and small sample of data to make their claims. And what do you do?
Yeah. Well, Enzo's got it, and that's exactly what I'm getting at here. Is it could be the strength of the person's belief system being able to interfere with the mind's, the control element itself, basically. So yeah, that's kind of what we're getting at. It's like so it's real and it's not real. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like there's something there that's actually working that's so far beyond, our concept of it. It's that whole lack of words for this stuff, really.
Yeah, Brown did pull all that stuff from MUFON's Joe Jordan.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly. There was 2 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
That did that. Anyway, here is another one of those little tidbits that he just throws out there and talks about, but doesn't talk about. And we have to ask ourselves why.
One of the truly convincing cases. We had others that were not convincing.
Right.
I mean, you could. One of the things that was developed, I have to be careful, is the way to evaluate. There's something, a widget. I'll call it a widget. That you telling me you're abducted, I'll bring that widget in. And that widget will tell me whether you're telling the truth. It's not a lie detector or anything like that. It's something else that you just have to, it's too scientific for me to.
Of human origin?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say.
Well, because I watched the movie A Disclosure Day. Have you seen this movie?
Yes.
So in there's a widget.
Yep.
Is that not unlike the widget you're referring to?
I'm not going to say.
Okay. But because I found it very strange in that movie that was brought in, because I'm like, we don't really hear about things like that at all. Everything else in the movie seemed to track, whether it's the psychic overlay or the sort of lingering psychic abilities that someone has after having an experience, the screen memories, the childhood abductions. There's so many things in that movie that really track and cut deep for people who follow experiencers. But that one thing stood out to me. I was like, what the heck's this?
Maybe he got some inside information.
Do you think that's the case?
I think he did. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm
100%.
100%. There's some things in there that he's gotten.
He was briefed on.
He was briefed on.
He was read in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that's some pretty strong allegations, right?
Oh, yeah, but that's been something that has been said since ET.
Yeah. Well, Close Encounters. I mean,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you had Valet.
Yeah, you had all these
Valet
people.
was on set doing stuff, and you had J. Allen Hynek in the movie.
Actually in the movie. Yeah. 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 So, you know, there's that. And I don't know. I mean,
it's an implant detector, like a chip reader for pets.
Maybe.
I mean, that's instantly what I thought of whenever he mentioned it. And,
yeah,
it's called a tricorder. Break out the handbag and the little sniffer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I have taken various pieces of equipment to people and rented over them multiple times.
Cars don't count, Ron.
Yeah, not cars. Not cars. Definitely not cars.
But this is a thing, it just comes up. He's like, oh yeah, I got a widget.
Yeah.
And I've heard about this stuff before, not by the name of a widget, but that it was a small device that basically they could bring out, and it would, the way that I heard it described, and this has been forever ago. This was back when X-Files was still on TV. It was almost like a compass. So like it would just kind of point. But like I don't know how valid those claims were. Again, this is like old 1990s era, early 2000s era UFO TV. So it's a weird thing to think. It makes perfect sense though that we would have something like that.
Yeah.
Would it be a Geiger counter? Would it be a
right?
Is there some specific form of radiation? They use a widget and they're searching for a MacGuffin. Folks imply that much depends on vibration and intention. Perhaps abduction can be thwarted by high vibrational rejection. I decline to contact with you energy kind of push.
Kind of like that.
I mean, the belief system structure would work the same thing. It's just a different label for the same thing.
So I can tell you that you can stop those experiences. No widget required. And I think Stone is pretty much right on. It does have to do with vibrations. And, when one has these experiences, I'll go ahead and just tell you, I don't care. Well, you all know that I'm an experiencer. I've told you this before multiple times. I'm not going into any big detail because I don't want anyone to say, oh yeah, that's exactly like, this, and that must be what it means for me. No, it's not, because they're personal. All those experiences are personal, but there is data there. And the data suggested, like I told you back in the day, vibration has something to do with this, because a lot of the vibrations are very similar to what you experience in out-of-body state. Told you that too. And that's why in the beginning, I didn't believe in alien abductions or any of that kind of stuff. I just thought it was just misinterpreted out-of-body experiences, as we've said in multiple presentations over the years now. But I come to find out, that's not what the data points at. It says that, there is that vibration, and it's very strong. And if you break the vibration, it breaks the contact. So that does happen and can happen. Now, do they have a device that can actually do that? That's the question, Joe. Like, is there an actual piece of machinery that can do that? Which we've heard that there is this mind machine link kind of technology that's been going around for a bit now.
But he never really explained how it was thwarted either.
No, he did not.
Like,
he refused.
There's toys we have, I'm sure, that can and do things. Like there's toys.
Yeah, well, there's also multiple scenarios for these contact / abduction.
Sure, yeah. Some of them are
events.
psychical, some of them physical, some of them are like this weird
Yep.
entanglement of the mind and body.
Yep. Exactly.
But it's yeah, like if you're talking about something that's doing more of the physical nature, which I mean, removing fingernails is a physical thing.
That's physical thing right there.
There are devices. I mean, there are toys in our arsenal that can do amazing things, and they don't require booms to make it happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like you said, I think you said it before. His lips are moving, but I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that has happened. Like, yes, I did stop one, but I will also tell you this. That's also when the spontaneous out of body experiences kind of kicked up. And that's almost like, oh, you think you're going to? No, you're not going to. There's things to do. So, you got to remember that too. So I honestly think that based upon some of that data, that a lot of these things are probably like, dude, if they want you, they're going to get you. Who was it? Wasn't it Bigelow just a couple of weeks ago or last week? There's no place on earth that you can hide. Remember that quote?
Yeah, there's nowhere you can hide.
There's nowhere you can hide. He's right.
Yeah. I heard Tim Taylor told an experiencer that singing a song in your head thwarts mind interference. Who knows if it's true or accurate, but the brain worm song has.
Oh, he told Chris Bledsoe that. And it was so that they couldn't read your mind. And allegedly he warned him of that when they went to NASA, if I remember correctly, on that story.
That's right. Chief. DARPA has a Toys R Us division. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Walk in, pick what you want off the shelf, install this, and this. Give it to that guy with the rivet gun.
It makes you wonder. I mean, it really does. It's just this there's this ball of mythology and, truths, data, real experimentation, and it's all just rolled up and thrown out. And I think people are just picking apart, like, birds that go through those, those blocks. Remember those big bird blocks we used to sell? And all the different seeds.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yep.
They're going after their favorite seed. That's what they're doing.
They will destroy the entire block and render the entire block down into nothing, a pile of what formerly was.
Yeah.
And the only things that will be taken out are the little crescent half moon dried fruit bits and the sunflower seeds.
But they'll only go for what they want, right? That's the whole thing. They'll only go for what they want.
Yeah.
And each bird was like that.
Yep. Chief, there's nothing ominous about a billionaire telling humanity there's nowhere to hide.
Nothing at all.
Right?
Nothing at all.
Oh, man. Tony says his lips were moving. Doty can lie with just body language, telepathically.
Yeah, no.
You're not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Bad part.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So where do we stand with this, guys? For real, like so far, we know that there's truths and half truths here, but I mean, is it not just such a good way to confuse what may be coming? And why was it released just now? That's the thing. Like, that's the real question. Like, here you are with a 4-hour interview, and you are going over stuff that hasn't been brought up yet, but it might be. You laid the groundwork for this potential whistleblower that we don't even know about. Why'd you do that? Who gave you the go ahead for that?
Well, see, that's why I'm still thinking he's on payroll, man.
There it was right there.
Like this, there's certain things in this interview that some of it are new to us, new to the Gen Pop. And it's one of these things where like, why? Like now I inadvertently am going to have a slight amount of distrust in anything that this woman says.
See, that's what I'm saying. So did it work?
Oh, 100%. Because there's all the people in the UFO community who hear Doty's name and have this internal, like anything that he spoke about in this interview, when it comes out, they're just going to be like, I don't know.
Right.
Doty said it in that interview. He said it a few months back. He said it on this podcast, said it on this documentary. He said it here. It came out of Doty's mouth. We got to remember the master of misinformation. Also,
right.
Speaking of masters of misinformation, there was another name that Doty mentioned.
There was.
First and last. And that would be Mr. Lou Elizondo.
That's correct. He did. He very much did.
What's your take on that, Ron?
I think, again, are we talking about, was this a preemptive strike? Or was there truths and half truths? Like you heard him say, he's talking about this lady, right? Well, like you said, even if she comes out and she's just telling the truth, apparently she passed a polygraph test anyway. But if she's even telling the truth, no one's going to believe her now because she's tied to this story.
Yeah.
Even though she may not want to be.
The best thing.
Yes, Oz, that one right there. He would send it. Yes. That one.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right there.
The best thing that ever happened for the disinformation architects was when Doty either A, got a conscience, or B, was, in my opinion, still on payroll.
Yeah.
But came forward and came clean about what happened with the guy you mentioned a minute ago. The most famous Doty debacle.
What, Benowitz?
Paul Benowitz. And that whole case, when he came clean about everything that he did, and then said, but I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Like, I was just doing what I was told. I was following orders. Okay, yeah, we've heard all that before. 1947, guys. This is just following orders.
Take a
It's one of these things where we're looking at Doty.
Yeah.
Specifically, he was the I couldn't sleep. I couldn't live with myself, and that's why I never would have been able to be with OSI. But the way that everything was crafted and the way that he just did his job, good soldiers follow orders. That whole thing, like up to the point that he did with and the way everything shook out, and then him coming out and being like, "Hey, yeah, it was me. I was disinformation." Blah 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 blah. That paints him with a red letter for the entire UFO community. So
yeah,
at large, they all see that. Okay, you have this new generation of people seeing him, and they're completely indifferent to the past. They weren't around for any of that. Oh, 100%. The Benowitz story should permanently follow Doty's credibility around.
Yep.
The new people who are new to this UFO stuff, who have just joined in since this past election cycle,
yeah,
who are new to all of it, they don't know. They don't know. And they hear things from this guy and they're like, oh my God, and they're blown away. They're took back. They're like, I can't believe, oh my gosh, this guy works for the government. He's saying this stuff. But then everything he touches, it's like, it's got Doty particles.
Yeah.
You know, like this new whistleblower. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that when it comes out.
It's poisoned at this point. It's tainted at this point. We're going to have to do more research at this point. That's the problem.
Yes.
And I get so sick. I'm sorry, but I do. I get so tired of trying to figure out what's what. Every week we have the conversations like, should we talk about this? Should we even bring this up? Because I mean, I don't want to be the one out here spreading disinformation. There's enough social media sites that are doing that. We don't need to be a part of that. But the problem is it's gotten so deep now. The sources themselves have been compromised.
Yeah.
Now we're in trouble because now it comes down to having to look back through ages and ages of data that I have stored in here mostly, and then seeing patterns. And you're doing the same thing. It's looking for these patterns. This adds up to this. But now when you get disinformation specialists in there, they're doing the same thing. They know how to use that and manipulate that around. They know how to use those as weapons.
And Doty isn't the only one.
No, he's not. In fact, he's probably one of the older ones that are out there, and there are way better ones out there now.
Lou Elizondo, the media darling. Right now, that's it. He, as far as the media is concerned, mainstream media, Lou is the go-to guy. He's the expert. He is also very possible Doty 2.0.
I mean, I don't know that, but let's just say that the position is right. Let's just say that if I were going to play this chess game, that would be who I would be moving on the board at this point. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that makes the perfect sense if you're trying to actually control this narrative like we think that, they're trying to control the narrative. And I do think they're trying to control the narrative.
Arthur says Ron and Joe complement each other really well. Well, that is almost 20 years of working together, both informally and formally. So
gives me a headache to think about. Shut up.
I know, right?
But yeah, as far as it goes, man, we can't trust what the man's saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know that some of that's true. We know some of that's true, but just because it came from him, I got to find it from another source. That's the problem. And that's where we're going to be with anyone else who comes out, of these whistleblowers that come out. We're going to have to find other sources. We're going to have to find other data points that are true and that can be proven at this point.
So Booker says, I don't believe that Doty can just turn it off. I don't either. As many years as he did it,
no, you're not wrong.
It would be prudent to remain skeptical of his stories. And yes, he is building up to a new whistleblower, end quote, to fit his narrative and gain our trust. I agree. I agree. That's where I said, like,
it's either that or it's a preemptive strike to tear her down before she even walks out on stage.
Is Ron saying that UFO is a bucket of?
No, I'm saying that some of these people who are masquerading as the experts need to be watched very carefully. And that's government experts. That's podcast experts, YouTube experts. We're not experts, by the way, so it doesn't apply to us. But you definitely have to keep your wits about you right now. It's very important. There's too many people who are playing this game, man.
Chief, hey, you are welcome here, Chief. It says Chief has found civilization. So if you are new to us and this you've just happened across our channel tonight in our show, we're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. We're not just UFO like news correspondent people, actual researchers. We're field researchers. We go out, we document stuff. We have tons of calibrated devices that we take out, and we actually study the phenomena and all aspects of it. So it's we are at this from a totally different angle than the majority of the talking heads, because we have the experience of being in the field and then bringing that here with you guys, and from one standpoint, we are one part UFO history and then one part bleeding edge of UFO research, and it's good times. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
It gets complicated at times. Let's say that.
It does. It really does. And we have, as you can see, we do keep an open line of communication. This is for all the folks who are new here. Our chat is very active, and it's very active for a reason. And we are interactive with said chat. So,
or comments, we'll to go back in and answer on the comments as well. Everybody who does that knows that we do. But the thing that I think that's important to remember about that, Joe, is that even though we are researchers, field investigators, whatever, we know that a great majority of the stuff that's out there is complete crap.
Oh yeah.
And we'll call it complete crap. That's the thing. Because it is. And it gets quoted. I'll give you one right now. And again, if it offends you, this is probably an introduction to discourse. You don't have to agree with everyone. You just have to listen to everyone. And then you can explain, why or why you do not agree with that. That's proper discourse. Improper discourse is what we typically see on a lot of these other sites, where it just spirals out of control and turns into a yelling match and with nonsense and someone walking away and not learning anything. But one of the key things to take away from it all, I think, is that, as you said, this comes down to us and how we perceive these things, right? Sometimes it is crap. Sometimes it is not crap. And it's a matter of not being led by your own biases. It's a matter of not being, oh, well, I saw this strange light in the sky. It obviously has to be a Zeitarian mothership. No, it doesn't have to be that at all. You have to rule out the other things. But I will say this, Joe. We talked about this before. A lot of the people go for that whole Occam's razor thing. They go for this thing that where we can explain it away because it was the planet Venus, if it's a strange light in the sky, right?
Yeah.
Well, not if that light's moving. Not if that light moved and the witness saw it stop or other strange things happen. That wasn't Venus. Because in order to actually explain something away, you've got to explain 100% of it away, not a small section of it.
Chief just says, I appreciate it. Chief promises to lower the property value gradually. Hey, man, we're doing the same thing.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that is priceless.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
But no, Ron, you're right, Ron. Like, it's
but that's what we see, Joe. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
We're in the middle, but on the other sides of us, over here on this side of the bank, we have the believers who believe every single thing that they see posted. It's 100% this. Miami Mall aliens, for example. Y'all remember that crap, right? Okay, well, it's making its rounds back. That's why I'm telling you.
I know.
So
it's
be
making
prepared.
rounds again, and it's just
ludicrous.
demons.
Ludicrous. Interdimensional portals and all this, a device that this guy created. God, what is wrong with you? And then on this other side, we have the hardcore skeptics who don't believe anything exists unless it could be, unless it fits into their box of reality. It's not even that it has to be validated. It just has to fit in their box of reality. So somewhere in the middle is where we typically end up at. And we can laugh at both sides, honestly.
Yeah, we do. The true believers and the true skeptics. Like, it's,
well, they're cut from the same cloth.
They really are. They're cut from the same cloth, and it's just different color plaid on either side. And it's one of these situations where you have to really, really, really. Have you ever used an old food mill? Like the one you put everything in, you spin it,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
This whole community and everything that's going on right now with UFO public disclosure, celebrity disclosure, this Doty interview, all the stuff with all the big names that everybody's familiar with. You have to put it in one of those old style food mills. This isn't something that you can throw. And I'm a chef for anybody who doesn't know. It's not one of these situations where you can just throw everything into the food processor and press go, and it all just comes out one homogenized conglomerate that goes into another bowl. No, you have to set and run this thing by hand manually. And this is what Ron and I do on a regular basis, and Dave, and we've got a few other folks here that send us stuff on a regular basis that help us as like news correspondents, so to speak. And we set and we run this stuff through the mill, and all the stuff that falls through the bottom. We have all that data, the actual usable stuff that comes out. Generally, you're left with very little weight in your collection bowl in comparison to the matter that's left up top, the stuff that's you're going to pitch out, you're not going to use, you're going to set and turn that mill and go backwards and scrape it all off and throw it in the disposal or on a compost heap.
100% right. We got 40 folks here. Y'all do take time to hit the likes and all that stuff and try to share it out and get some more people here, because it's an algorithm game, and we're little guys. We're not the big guys, but we do believe that some of what we are saying is probably important and it needs to be out there, and that can only happen with people like you.
Yeah. Go Dot, we're through the looking glass here, people. Yeah.
Oh, we've been through the looking glass on the other side, and all kinds of stuff at this point, right? Aliens prefer margaritas. Well, they do. Probably. I heard that they like strawberry ice cream.
This is exactly right. That's the best takeaway from that analogy. That claims go into the data mill, evidence comes out one side, and there's a surprisingly large pile of crap that comes out the back. It's true. What that was the whole point of that analogy.
Yeah, you got it. Totally got it.
So aliens prefer margaritas? Absolutely. So do we. We were talking about, here's the thing, man. They're talking about devices that are being made down at the Miami Mall. The only device we needed made is the device that was in the point of origin for all of the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
The device that made the best intergalactic concoction known to man.
It was
alien alike.
It was probably, it's probably a blender.
Yeah.
It was a blender.
It was a blender that was concocting a nice margarita in Margaritaville.
A magical thing right there.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And somehow from that, demons and intergalactic aliens.
It's amazing. They were giants.
Yes. Nephilim children.
Giants. And they closed down the airport and the airspace, and fascinating stuff. I remember when it happened. We did there's actually a big podcast or episode we did. You go back and listen to it. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. Let's just say that. So anyway, yeah. So do you guys want to see some more of this Doty stuff, or
let's do some more.
Well, let's get a presentation. I'll find some more for us, and we'll see where we end up with it. Let's see. Let's go. We did the widget, so that was kind of fun. He talks about this. There's this apparently there's a cut of Disclosure Day. Did you see that part?
Yeah, he talked about a longer cut, which that was actually something I heard that took place. There were from some folks that were at Contact in the desert.
Yeah,
that they all spoke about that after Contact. These were like the higher up people that went, because it was just down the road from where Contact was.
Makes me wonder, man.
And
that makes me wonder.
Some of those guys went to that screening. It was a private screening. It was not big for the public. It was set up, and there were some private jets that flew in. There were some military officials that were there, some government alphabet guys, and then you had some of your big UFO names that were at Contact. There was a reason it was done where it was at. It was so that way it could kind of hit and pull everybody in for a brief show.
Right. Well, you're all aware of that one, so I'm just going to jump over here to this next one. Let's talk about the alien interview. I think that'll be a fun one.
Well, the thing was about that showing was that it was like longer.
Oh, well, I can play it here.
I knew of an operation that was occurring at Groom Lake. I didn't know it was Carthusian monks. Okay,
that's not.
I knew there was a project.
No. Well, we'll play this one.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and play that.
That they were bringing people in to S2 Annex, which is where we call it the creature containment facility. They have.
There's the lips moving.
Yeah, right.
S2 Annex,
creature
not
containment
S4
facility.
Not S4, S2, where the creature containment facility is located.
Yep.
Had special facilities for these extraterrestrials that we found or gained. I don't know how we got them, because a lot of them had to have special environments to live.
So basically, what he just described.
Terrariums. What is it?
Pokemon. They went out, they found them, they threw a collector at them that created a special environment for them.
Oh, man.
And that these people that they brought in, again, I didn't know at the time in the 80s that they were Carthusian monks, that they were able to communicate with them.
Okay, so that was that clip. And basically what he's saying is there was a human alien interface. That part's probably true. I don't know if they were monks, but that was probably true. The rest of that, I mean, come on. I don't know.
Containment facility, like just openly talk. Oh yeah, S2 was the creature containment.
S2, yeah. Out at S2, like you mean S2? Well, I mean they crucified Bob Lazar for mentioning S4.
Yeah,
and you're just going to casually drop S2 on us and tell us exactly what it was.
Flippantly say, oh yeah, that was the creature containment facility there where it had special environments and replicated. You know, there were some of them that breathed high percentages of methane, and
there's somebody breathing some high percentage of methane. That's
yeah,
for sure.
right. He's
they were the ones that were able to communicate with this particular species of extraterrestrial.
Which species?
I'm not sure. I think the Greys, one of the Greys.
How are you not sure?
I'm not sure. I think it was these guys.
How are you not sure if it's the Greys? The Greys are unlike any of these other guys. Just going to let you know, okay? Just going to put that out there.
And these Greys told us all this information. And that's part of the film that John is talking about.
The alien interview.
The alien interview.
You feel like that film is real?
Oh, yeah, I know it is, because the guy that smuggled it out spoke.
Victor.
No,
the guy gave it to Victor.
Yeah, I gave it to Victor. The Air Force sergeant that smuggled it out. He worked in the audiovisual lab at Groom Lake. He had access to where he could copy that.
Right.
He had,
you would have to.
The video or whatever, how they did that. I think it was on
and it was during a time they were sort of digitizing everything.
Yeah, digitizing it, right, exactly. And so he was able to smuggle it out, keep it, and eventually gave it to Victor.
How many of you guys have seen that, by the way? That's the the little alien video where they're interrogating
alien interview.
Yeah, he's like telling us all we're doomed. He's a fun guy. He's a real fun guy.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy, that little guy is.
J-Rod.
That was the J-Rod, I don't think, was it?
No, this one wasn't J-Rod.
No.
This was a different one.
No.
They called him Eben something.
Yeah, he's one of the Ebens. EB1 or 2, something. I don't know. But either way, out of all those guys, man, out of all those little aliens, I still want Skinny Bob to be real. That's just me. Just because, man, they ain't nothing like that little guy. He's in that flight suit. Right? It's like, it's like it's like Top Gun with aliens.
Harry, Betty, Barney Hill.
That'd be good. Let's see. Gray interview. Yeah, we did that. That's the other part of it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There is a lunar eclipse if you're on the East Coast. You get to see it tonight unless you're in West Virginia where we're having thunderstorms.
Yep. We got partly cloudy here, guys. So y'all enjoy that for us and tell us how it is.
back to, I know the facility. I've been at the facility. I saw closed circuit, watching a closed circuit television camera of an alien inside. I went in there to interview somebody. I wasn't supposed to see this. I was in there watching this, and I asked the guy that I was supposed to be interviewed. I said, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, they're talking to one of the visitors."
You know, I remember that time I just walked in and there's a alien on the screen. There's no security. I mean, gosh, there's no security.
Yeah, right.
At all.
I just walked in the room.
What? I mean, have you? Okay, let's think about this just for 1 second, and let's just assume that that he's telling the truth. Here's why he's not telling the truth. What did Lazar say about the security at S4? How tight was the security?
It was meticulous.
If you even looked the wrong way,
yeah.
If you didn't have your card,
like
now,
they walked you to and from, and you couldn't look left, right in some of the areas. You just went straight ahead.
Right. And if you didn't, you get the butt of a M16 on the back of your head. I mean, for real. That's how the security was allegedly at. I believe Bob here more than I do Doty is what I'm trying to get at you.
Oh yeah. Well, Chief brings up a great point. Every Doty story eventually reaches, and I was there.
I saw this. Trust me, bro. But no, I mean, I'm not even going to play the rest of that. But just because I can't because it's not that it's just disinformation. It's that it's almost like it's an insult to, again, like the guy showed in the beginning, where they trashed his car, where they, called him names, where they made fun of him. These are the people who made that happen. See, that's the problem I have with it. Yeah. Like, it's a cool story. I'll give you that. It's great. It's a cool story, right? Everybody, any of those. Yeah. Let's go with that whole J-Rod thing. Well, someone created that too.
Stone. This is the best. He will be played by John Lovitz in the movie.
Oh my God.
That is the perfect casting.
Oh man.
For Doty.
Yeah, I mean, he mentioned a couple of things that were weird, but not really weird because we've heard them.
Yeah.
Portals. He talked about portals. He watched a guy, by the way, go into a portal. He saw it.
No. Didn't go in a portal. Didn't go in a portal.
It was a crack in
He went in a crack in a mesa and never came back.
Never came back out.
They just left. When I heard that.
What did y'all? My question was this, Joe. When I heard that, what? Let's play the story. Let's play it, and then we'll see what these guys think about this, because I want to see if you had the same reaction that we did. Portals. Here it is. Get ready for this one. Y'all buckle up. You ready for this?
I saw this.
You saw him walk into a portal.
I saw him walk through a crevice in a rock. It was a rock faced, and there was a small crevice. And he walked through that crevice, and there wasn't nothing on the other side. It was being filmed.
Could he fit in the crevice?
He barely fit in the crevice, and we were some distance away from him. And then somebody said, "Well, okay, he's in there," and so we waited. His story was he was going to go in and then come back out and bring something from, and I don't remember if it was from the past or the future. I don't remember that, and. He never came out.
He never came out. And what did they do? Just break for lunch and just leave him? I mean, but he never came out. And the story it just ends right there. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the story, guys. He never came out.
He said there's one more part that is it's infinitely critical to this part of the story. Oh yeah, we waited there for several hours.
2 hours.
Never came back.
It was 2 hours.
Did Chris ask something like, "Did you go check on him?" Well, no. I left, and then the people that were there supposed to watch him, they eventually showed back up at the office. and said, "Did he ever come back?" No, he never came out.
So let me tell you how that goes. As soon as the main guy is like leaving, they looked at each other and said, "You ready to go?"
Yeah,
that's how that went down. And it may have been no more than 15 minutes. Let's call it for what it really was. But it's a great story.
Yeah.
So he brought up portals, right? He brought up the whole ocean thing again. Thank you.
Thank you, hippie. Appreciate you.
Many thanks.
But yeah, I died like not like that guy who died in the crack.
Yeah, apparently he's dead in the crack somewhere. I don't know. I mean,
But
probably
like,
fused into the rock.
Whatever he was like, oh yeah, he just went into the thing. I was like, that poor dude fell into a void,
probably
in the mesa, and just died.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they waited there for hours. They never reported the missing person.
Nope.
They never tried to help him. He's just
gone. He's just gone. Wedged between a crack, probably somewhere out in the desert, still to this day.
And at what point does this?
It doesn't make sense.
Where? What are people going to think of you if I can see it now? We're out filming for Strange Realities.
Oh no!
Joe walks into a crack in the cave. Ron and Maria and the rest of the team just say, "Well, he must have stepped in a portal."
That's what we're going to do. You watch and see.
And
we're just going to hope you show back up at camp. Did he ever show up? Nope. Let's go home.
Like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And, it doesn't make sense because there's more of the story he didn't tell, like he said, because, it's a really long story. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, we had, background info on him and, they used a widget. There's apparently that widget worked. I mean, open the portal, something.
Oh, man. Yeah, he went through and the Roadrunner showed up with disappearing ink.
Yeah, meep. What's what happened there? Jeez, dude.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't.
But it's like
there was that moment.
Yeah.
Chris starts staring into the distance. How could you sit through that story and not be like,
I'm going to ask some more questions.
You realize he's dead?
Y'all didn't even use the flashlight. I mean, that's my thing. They didn't even stick their head in there, shine a flashlight around, look for a body. They didn't do any of that.
No.
And this is some big top-notch, research program.
Oh God,
man! I'll tell you what, those guys at Skinwalker Ranch got y'all beat.
Oh man, I couldn't. Wouldn't you be able to see Glowing Joe at the bottom of a hole? Technically,
probably.
Yeah,
I would think so. Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good Lord!
Unreal.
Yeah, that whole thing, that whole chain of events. Yeah, this guy, he told us a time traveler, and we were like, yeah, sure, okay, prove it. And then he died.
So, he traveled through time, Joe. He's a fossil now.
Like the only thing I can think is in my head, this guy's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna trick him. I got him. I have this old piece of equipment that I found from like Civil War era, and it's like mint condition.
Or it was an IBM, 800.
Or yeah. And he has it hidden in this crevice, and then he just accidentally slips and falls to his doom. And they're just like,
yeah. I mean, what? I don't know.
You ready for some coffee and some donuts?
think I saw a chalupa truck on the way in.
Yeah, right.
Like what in the world?
That whole story, like
dude.
Oh Lord.
Yep, that was John Titor. That's right, Enzo.
Sure. That's why we don't hear about John Titor on the internet anymore. Is he apparently died in a cave?
They took him out and pushed him in a cave. But no, what this does, again, think about it, Joe.
Yeah.
Now, if we hear, the government come out in one of these tranches talking about portals, and they tell us a story about this guy who went into this portal, right?
Yeah.
And just disappeared. Now, if they show that, we're going to be like, well, we know that's crap now. We know that that's made up. So again, what's real? What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
He did.
And what if that is real? What if that story is real? Like, what if that was part of his, like, because it is one of the most outrageous, as crazy as the widget sounds, as crazy as all the other things sound. Yeah. That story is the most absurd. What if that's the one that's true?
And that's the whole thing. Watch the end of it when he asked him, like, we're going to play the game. And they did what was it? You tell 2 truths and 1 lie. And they had to figure out which one was what. And, man, you can't tell. He's good. Like the eyes, nope, there's no tails as far as it goes with that.
The next disclosure will be this guy testifying about a portal in Iraq. And he'll be testifying to Congress against Doty. He left me there.
Yeah. That's probably why they all want, amnesty, because they did stupid stuff like this.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, man, I'm just telling you.
Oh, Lord.
We can laugh about it, but it's going to get confusing for people in the next couple of months.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about to get real confusing. And I don't know, man. It's so, I even thought, at the beginning, I was like, we'll be able to figure this out. We'll be able to tell which road's the right road. They've muddied the water so much now.
Yeah.
The water is so muddy. I don't even know what's up and what's down at this point. But that's what they were doing. That was the whole plan.
He had me at first. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh man. So okay. What do you have another one? Or we're running here at the end.
We're good. We're good.
So okay, you sat through the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Was Ross there? Didn't he say he saw a portal?
Well, this is my whole point. So everything he talked about, and we're just not going to show it. There's too many clips, but he talked about the portals, right? So he threw water on that with this guy vanishing down a hole. He talked about the underwater bases, about this, Navy guy who tells him about it. He's talking about Tim. Yeah. So he brings Tim in there.
Well, you know that's who it is.
I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the ancient alien theory, where he thinks, well, that's a legit. We've said that 1,000,000 times ourselves, that there was a reset at some point, and there was probably people here, billions of years ago or whatever. But again, he threw in this little half truths all down the line, and it's just like, well, this is contaminated now. Look what he did. Yeah. Someone can look at that and be like, well, Doty said that, so it's not true. Well, no, I don't, right? Because some of that was true. That's the problem. The UFO community needs no external confusion. No, it is a land of confusion. We've said that. That theme song is freaking Phil Collins' Land of Confusion. It's been that way for several years now.
Yeah. Ross has gone from investigative journalist to ufology's tabloid correspondent. It really has.
Yeah.
Like we said a few weeks back, it's like anything we've been seeing with Ross since those weird skeletal donkeys that they showed.
That was fun. That's fun times.
He's basically stepped into the weekly world news realm.
You should invite Dr. Phil on as a guest. We could get to the bottom of all this.
Yeah.
What?
What's probably going to happen is Doty's going to show up on Phil's show soon.
Yeah. Yeah. We could probably get Doty on. I'm sure he wouldn't turn us down.
Oh, probably not. Like he said that he goes on all these shows.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
So,
but it would be a hard show for him. It would be a very hard show for him. I don't think he would want to do that. Because I'd just be like, wait, we're going to talk about something, Richard. And I know you talked about it before, so we know you can actually talk about this, but you guys left a guy in a hole.
Yeah.
You want to clarify that because, man, that's wrong. You know, I don't think he'd like that.
Yep. That would be, I would have a heyday with that one.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't it be fun?
Oh, man.
That would be a great one, I'll tell you. But no, guys, just be vigilant. That's pretty much what I'm trying to tell you. What this whole show was about is just literally be vigilant, because there are people at play, stuff's going on, and it's going to get hard. I mean,
it's already hard, because we're trying, what we're doing here and the reason we do so many of these news clips and show them is because our community specifically, we have a large group of the community that is very in the know, very into the research aspects and not following the craziness in the news. However, we have a bunch of new people who are new to the topic, new to this stuff, that need to have somebody being kind of like a voice of reason and say, hey, look, Doty, here's the rundown on Doty. We have no idea. We have this strange sense that we can't trust it because of X, and tell the whole Benowitz story and some of the other stuff he did with the OSI.
And friends don't leave friends in crevices. Good point, Oz.
They weren't even acquaintances.
No.
So he just left a stranger in a crevice.
It's even worse. It's even worse. Oh,
we waited there for hours. Just never came out.
How many hours should you wait before you call? I don't know. Maybe the local emergency services, if you don't want to handle it yourself. I mean, missing persons report. I'm assuming none of that was done.
I mean, my guess is that death by T-Rex is going to be I'm going to bring back a dinosaur egg.
Right. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
That might be what it was, actually. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So what did we learn from this show? I agree. Never just go home from the desert if your buddy gets stuck in a hole.
Yeah.
That is what we learned. If you take away anything from the Tonight Show, take away that one.
Yep.
And it's not just the desert. I mean, we got some pretty karst land out here.
We do. Absolutely. Yeah. The Cranberry Glades Wilderness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly.
It is very karst land. You do not want to go out there and go traipsing around without a buddy.
No, it's very dangerous.
So,
man, I'll tell you. But, we could have touched on other things this week, but I thought it was important to show this, like you said, because the next generation of folks are looking at this stuff, and they're like, they don't know him from anybody else, man.
No.
That's the problem. So, you got to set this stuff straight. It's like, look, you can't believe everything you see. You can't believe everything you hear. If we
that's
tell
one
you
of the reasons why this show is where we're at and we're the size we are. Our channel is the size it is because we don't just go around spreading nonsense. We make a lot of people upset by stepping on their toes and tipping over their sacred cows. The phenomena is real.
Yes.
UFOs are real.
Yes.
There is something to this. The abduction phenomena is a real thing. Is it everything that Doty is saying? I wouldn't want to be out in the desert.
Nope.
You can go look in a crack in a rock.
Nope.
With him.
No. I mean, this is a fact. So I think that,
and
we gotta.
Honestly, I don't know how comfortable I'd feel doing the same thing, going into the same crack in a wall with Lou Elizondo sitting out waiting.
Ah, boy, good point right there.
It's just we don't know We don't know who to trust.
Yeah, I think that's
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's bad for like the general population.
It's bad for the mass public.
Yeah, but for us, for the community, the people who do this stuff, is not necessarily a bad thing, because it kind of keeps you from that cult-like mindset. You know, you don't all just have one voice that's out there telling you what it is, how it works, all this stuff.
Well, I think you have to remember, Joe, the majority of online ufology at this point, be it on, you know, X or whatever, it's an echo chamber. And they're literally just saying the same things over and over. No one's really looking at new data. And a lot of the stuff is just old cases. Look at some of the stuff that you're seeing that keeps these pages going. It's just old cases repeated over and over. There's no there's no new data. There's no new anything.
There's like 24 people. And that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
There's probably 24 groups. More than just 24 people, but 24 groups in the world that are doing the actual boots on the ground modern day research, that aren't just studying old cases.
Jennifer Trower's at work, taking a quick work break, checking in. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate you.
Y'all be sure to go in after this show and drop in some comments and under the actual episode, and help boost that, you know, the algorithm up a little bit. I got a feeling that next week might be a busy one, Joe.
I do too. We had, for starters, we had the Bigelow interview that we need to go through, and I'm really enjoying the Bigelow stuff. I think.
Oh yeah.
Of all of the nonsense that is coming out, this is kind of like the flashlight in the dark.
Why do you think we should trust Bigelow over all these other folks, Joe?
The reason,
maybe not even all of trust, but why should we at least entertain? Yeah.
Bigelow had a vested interest in it beyond the federal government. He had personal interest in it. He did things that were unconventional. And what we're hearing about are the things, majority in these past few interviews, are the things that are part of the unconventional side, because those things were never really classified, because they were not sanctioned. He said, okay, well, the government's going to give me all these millions of dollars to go do research. I'm going to do research. And I'm not going to limit that research. And I'm going to throw my own money on top of this, because now I have a facility.
Yeah.
I have resources. I have instrumentation. I have access to scientists to have them review this, because they're working for Bigelow Aerospace. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give them all this data, have them review all the stuff that's government related, personal matters, all of it. Might as well. So there's a lot that Bigelow has to share that he can actually release, because he's not. Some of it's under NDA, and he's clear about that.
Yeah.
Some of it's under classification still, and he's clear about that. But there is stuff that he just carte blanche will just tell you.
Yep.
As a matter of fact.
Number one, he's a researcher, you know, and he's an experiencer too, you know, right from the get-go. So, you know, you'll find that most of these guys who are out collecting the real data, they tend to have some form of relationship with the phenomena, and some of them don't. Yep. And you might want to look at those. Maybe we need a widget to tell us. I don't know.
We need a widget with a
I'll try to get one. I'll try to get one next time I'm
you know,
out there. I'll see what I can do for us.
It's one of these things where, like, I highly suggest listening to what Bigelow has to say. especially because of the manner in which he's saying it.
Oh, the new
And
valet
audience
interview.
he's
Yeah.
keeping when he's doing it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Jim Harold got a valet interview.
Yeah, he did.
That's right.
It's pretty good. I mean,
Jim's a
that
good
one
dude
as well.
too.
Yeah, I managed that one as well.
We were neighbors for a weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a real good guy. He was our neighbors at Seth's event.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, he and his wife.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I strongly suggest just listening and taking it with grains of salt, but just listen to what Bigelow has to say, because anybody, if you are a researcher and you've been listening to these Bigelow interviews, you know why I'm telling people to listen to them.
Yeah.
Because he has validated years of our work in 2 interviews.
Yep. And any time that you see that validation, that I don't need a widget. All I need is to look at your data, and I can see that there's corresponding data there. That stuff, when you see it with your own eyes, you can't deny it after you see it with your own eyes, right, Joe?
Yeah, you can. Once you record it yourself with your own metrics and you have your own hard data source plus your visual resource, you can't really deny it. And this interview brings in the transition to Brandon Fugel. So I haven't had a chance to finish it all out. This is episode number 4 for that podcast series. And I'm gonna be listening to it. I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow, probably twice.
Oh, I'm sure. And again, people are looking for these buzzwords. They're not looking for the actual data. And I think that's one of our issues. So, if nothing else, one of our jobs here is to sift through all that stuff. Pay attention to why those buzzwords are being used.
Some of the highlights that other people have ran on their show from those interviews, and you listen to the ones that we run on our show, totally different clips.
Oh yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're running, especially a lot of the clips that he's talking about, if we're running them, you can bet we have proof to back it up what he's saying.
Well, there might be. I mean, if you go back and watch ours, you'll see us cut in our own footage while he's talking, that because it's validating literally what we've seen, what we've experienced out in the field multiple times at this point. And doesn't mean I know what it is. It just means that, there's something there. As our data has always shown us, there's something there, and it seems intelligent. Whether it be a direct reflection of us or it's something external, I don't know. I think it's something external, but can't prove it one way or the other. I surely can't say it's ET like Doty does, because I don't have anything to really compare it to say that. Am I going to believe the phenomena itself? Nope, because it's been known to lie to people, or at least to hide the truth a little bit, probably as some form of camouflage or something. Who knows at this point? But, you can't really judge the phenomena based on anything more than that.
Yeah. Chief, this is another great one. Trust requires receipts.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for years. If you want, if you've ever been to one of our events that we've hosted or in any of our presentations at some of the festivals and conventions, we always tell people to bring the receipts. And we do. We won't just tell you an idea or what we think about something without having the receipts. Because you can't run from data. Apparently you can't run from data, and you can't run from aliens either.
That's all the
You're
same.
not safe anywhere in the world from data or the phenomena.
Yeah. No, it's actually true.
So, after party in the crevasse.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
Oh man. Are all the rockets launched at Skinwalker really providing good data? And what are your thoughts on the bubble? Just trying to follow the real data like you can provide. Okay.
Well, good questions there. Travis likes to launch rockets.
The redneck rocketeer has that nickname for a reason.
He does. I mean, he really does. I think that's one of his things. But they do seem to get quite a bit of data from those.
Yeah, because oftentimes they load them with GQ radiation detectors. They load them with GIS sensors, GPS sensors.
Mm-hmm.
They get as much data as they can. They pack inside the tube. They will load that thing with various sensors. And they have an area that they like to shoot at because it's weird and it's an anomalous triangle area. And it just they get weird results. And the only way to really get good metrics on those kind of data sets is you have to repeat them over and over and over. That requires a lot of rockets.
I think that those rockets are a lot cheaper than those drones. That's what I think. And, the drone failures are
what do you say about maybe some of those rockets they're shooting off probably about $400 or $500 a pop?
Well, there's a couple thousanders out there. There's a couple that was a couple $1,000, but
those are reusable. I'm talking about the actual charge that's going inside them.
Those aren't that much.
Yeah, a few $100.
Yeah, they're
unless the tube gets damaged beyond repair, then they got to build a whole new rocket. But
that's happened a few times.
It has, but that's why they have the parachutes on the back. If the parachute doesn't open, bam, it's toast. They got to get a new one.
Yep, lawn darts. But yeah, and then the bubble. Man, I'll tell you what. The first episode when they mentioned the bubble, I really honestly just thought that was some kind of a LiDAR anomaly, and it does appear that there's something there. So, I mean, could you be dealing with an area, a defined
this is
area?
where Doty's crevasse leads.
It may be. That's what it is. The Doty portal. But could there be some form of a barrier, right, there to some of this stuff? It's not really any more strange than some of the stuff that we've seen. I mean, there are areas where we conduct research where there seems to be more activity in a certain spot there than it does in other spots. So could there
isolated
be could there be some form of a bubble or a sphere or whatever? I don't know, but it could just be I don't know. I'm going to wait until I have more data on that, honestly. But I do like the fact that it does seem to be that there's something there, and again, it does seem to add up to some of the stuff that we've caught out in the field. We can't measure, big LiDAR bubbles, but it makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder when I see that. I'm like, wow, is that what
could be here?
Yeah, is that what happened out there at Chief Logan? Is that what happened up at Wineberry? I don't know. I mean, I can tell you there's some weird stuff that happens in that area, and it's a pretty big area.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard, like data. They're collecting data, and they're one of the few groups that are actually doing that.
Yeah,
and they do it in a entertaining fashion. Like they stage certain rocket launches in certain ways at certain times to optimize visual effectiveness. So,
but. And Godot makes a point here. There are many similar areas. There are.
Yeah. There are. Yeah.
There are tons of areas. And there's probably one right beside you, honestly. And some probably work better than others. Space-time anomalies screw with GPS. Yeah, that is the theory. I know we need a GPS system. We just haven't got one yet. That's something we need to really...
I've been looking at one. We can do it for under $100.
Yeah, we would need a couple. Just we need one as a control, and
one at base and one to track and walk.
Yeah, we would definitely, because I do wonder about that sometimes. I wish we would have had that back when whatever happened to us at Kanawha State.
Oh God, yeah. That was weird.
We kind of did. The phone, the GPS on the phone kind of helped. What the timestamp of the picture, but I don't know what happened there. I just know that something weird happened, and I don't know. I would really like to have had a GPS on us that day, though. I
mean, we moved over a mile.
I think it was about a mile. Yeah.
Yeah, at like world record sprinting speeds,
like 5 to
and
7
we were
minutes
just
or something.
Yeah, and we were just sauntering along.
Yeah, because it was wet and miserable.
Yeah.
And, it was. I don't know what happened out there that day, but I do know that, like I said, more additional equipment would have definitely helped. But yeah, guys, that's what we do with, by the way, those super stickers, all that stuff you do, that goes into new equipment and goes into new productions that you can watch here. Like the last one that just came up there, that was Strange Realities episode number 2. That is up there for you to watch. You can go watch that. And number 3 is coming out. Number 3 is the one you really, 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 you got to go back and watch 1. You got to go back and watch 1 and 2 before you watch 3. Trust me, it'll make a whole lot more sense to you.
Yeah.
But you get to see some weird stuff happen out there. And you folks who watched Paranormal Horizons knows exactly that where this is probably going to go. And it went there. And it was like I said, we still question it to this day, about what happened out there. But we caught it. And you're going to get to see it. And that'll all be up here for free for everybody, because
in 4K.
Yeah, it's for you guys. So you help us, we help you, and let's keep moving along. This
Book fund money. Yeah, I have the books upstairs. I have 2 books that are the next 2 are staged. I was going to do one tonight but forgot. But we'll go do it next week, and then the following week after that. So we got 2 books queued up.
Okay.
So
yeah, let's do that, and definitely let's get that set for the physical meetup.
Yeah. That set, we're gonna get that for the group.
Yeah. Mid Ohio likes to remind everybody that demons are everywhere.
Demons, don't forget.
Just remember that.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I think it's been a good show.
Let's play us out. I want to do this contraption tonight.
The expansion set.
Right? Yeah. I don't know what this makes it. I think it makes it a F#4, maybe. Something like that.
Which one is it?
No, that is F#4. So that's not
so if it's F#4, it's going to take you up to A, I think. The drone will be an A.
All right, should be. We'll see how it goes. So for the folks who are new here and don't know what in the world's getting ready to happen, I'm getting ready to summon us some aliens. No. At the end of the show, for whatever reason, I started playing flute and you people enjoyed it. So at the end of the shows, when we reach our goals, that's what we do. We sit back and I channel some magical flute music, and you can use it for whatever you want. Yeah, if you want to summon crevice demons, I guess you can do that. I wouldn't do that. That's not very conductive to peace and relaxation. But no, we definitely want to end the show on a nice, peaceful, relaxing thing. And let's remember, next week, probably going to get crazy, probably get wild and weird like it always does. And we're going to try to get you through it. So till then, let's dial up the machine here, and let's see how loud this thing is.
Dial up the portal generator.
I'm going to dial up the portal generator. I'm going to dial up our widget. Widget. I am now going to play the widget. Hey, Tree. We're going to play some flute now for y'all. Everybody go to your happy place. This one I'm going to dedicate to that guy stuck in that crevice.
Stuck in Doty's deep in the hole.
Here we go.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. We appreciate everybody that jumped in, chimed in, gave us some support. Y'all are all awesome. Remember to come right back here next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe earlier if something crazy happens.
Yeah, just never know, do you?
Yep.
Now get out there and see if you can see the eclipse and all that stuff.
If you got an open sky right now, you should be able to see the eclipse. It's rolling.
What you need to do is you need to go outside and just back up that flute solo and just go out there and just stare at the sky and stare at the moon and see what happens. Let us know next week. I'm pretty sure nothing will happen, but you might get stuck down into a portal. I don't know.
Yeah, and we won't be able to come check on you.
We won't be able to come check on you, and we're not responsible for that. So if any of you disappear into a strange crevice or, that's not our fault. That's on Doty.
Yep. Guys. Oh yeah, that's right. I wish we had a Miss Dolly.
Oh,
we did lose.
We did.
Queen of Appalachia this week.
That is absolutely true. You know what? Let's do that one last time. There you go.
There you go. There you go. So, guys, next week, right here, 8 p.m. Eastern. And remember, Autobots, roll out.